Lynden.
Hello.
Hi. Hi everyone. Who are you?
My name is Lynden Campbell. I'm the head of Synchronisation at Domino Records and Domino Publishing. And I hope to help independent artists get their music into films, commercials and games.
Wow, how great is that? I think it's, well, I've interviewed a few people now because we're together at this Keychange conference in Tallin, and we both felt that it was so inspiring, I think, even though we were a bit skeptical to take part in this.
Yeah, I think there's an issue at the moment with other things like sexuality and diversity, and to be continuing to talk about women and men seems like that's an old story. However, I've been proven wrong by being in Tallin this week, because I think the community of women that's been selected are incredibly funny, first of all.
Well, you especially.
They're very supportive and willing to learn and listen to each other. So actually I think this is going to be a really exciting thing, not just for women but for men, and for anyone who doesn't know if they are a man or a woman and doesn't want to define themselves by gender. So I think this is going to be a force for the entire music business and not just for a section of the music business.
Wow. And I was wanting to ask you, because you work so high up with film and music to combine, like you said, independence. Can you stop constructing behind here, please? Well, no respect.
It's progress. It's the sound of progress.
But if I was I am. If I am an independent music creator, which I am, and a lot of other people are, what should we think about if we want to get into film and TV and things like that?
I think the most important thing is to be honest to yourself and be genuine, because that's what people are buying.
Oh.
So first of all, don't write music because you think it's going to get onto a particular TV show. Write the music because it's the music that you create, first and foremost. Second thing, if you love film and you love TV, find out who directs those shows.
Yeah.
See what else they're doing, because they might be doing their own short film, they might be doing a feature film, they might have a Q&A they might be premiering a film near you. There's no harm in you going down to a premiere Q&A and just introducing yourself. I would probably introduce yourself with a business card.
Oh, yeah.
So have your name, your contact details, and maybe a Spotify link or YouTube link or something like that. Something that's immediate, so that they can click on something and listen to your best song, or the song that represents you the most. Not too much, just something that just tantalises them.
Yeah.
And you can do that yourself, and you don't need to hire anyone to do that. You can go to film festivals. There's phenomenal short film festivals all over the world.
Wow.
And you don't necessarily have to spend any money. You don't need to necessarily go to the film. If you know the filmmaker is there, they'll be around. So it's basically stalking, but in the nicest possible way.
But it's so great, because a lot of things you said now was not what I heard if I went to like a seminar at my education, because then it would be like, think about what would sound good in a film, or...
That's not your decision.
No, exactly.
So you have to remember that there's a lot of different factors involved.
Yeah.
In TV commercials particularly, you have advertising creatives, you have music supervisors, you've got the actual brand itself. There's a lot of people involved in making decisions about music.
Yeah.
So the best thing that you can do is make the music and make sure people can find you when they want to use it. So like, once you've made the music and you've been amazing and you've made your music and you've gone to your music and you've gone to your film festival, the other thing that's really important is that you register your song with your local collection society. Because if it gets used on a television programme or even played on the radio, you get revenue from that. And if you get revenue, then it means you can continue to keep doing what you're doing. And if you're registered, this is the systems that the collection societies use are the same systems that music supervisors use to find out who owns the music.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If you don't own your music, you've sold the rights for the sound recording or the publishing rights to the lyrics and composition to a company, you have given away your right to give a film director or a filmmaker or a music supervisor permission. So you can't say to a music supervisor, yes, it's fine, use it, because you've passed you granted those rights to the publisher or the record label. So it's important to know who handles the licensing in your record label and in your publishing company. Make friends with those people, treat them like a human being, make them feel special, and I guarantee you that they will continue to pitch your music and they will try your best. And you know if someone's pitching your music when they're asking you questions like, have you got an instrumental? They want to know when you're gigging. It's the same information that they need as a PR person would need, because they want to communicate with music supervisors what you're up to. So there's kind of three things. Firstly, just keep doing what you're doing, make awesome music. Secondly, go to film festivals, be around the community of the director that you're passionate about. And then lastly, if you do have a sync person in your record label or publishing company, make sure that they have your contact details, because when the sync happens, it happens quickly. If they can't get hold of you, you need to make sure that you're available and that you're communicating with them. And you sometimes need to pick up the phone, and if you're phone shy, put in place some strategies to manage that. So if you're not comfortable on the phone, you know, maybe you prefer to go by text, but just something that's quicker than if you've got an email that you don't check the junk mail and you're not regularly checking it. Make sure that the sync team know that you're more likely to respond to a text or something like that. And then that way they can factor in.
Because I have to say, yes, you can use the song if
so
they own it.
Some companies don't need that permission, but most companies will. And then the other thing of advice I would give is that no one should be taking money from you to use your music. So there's a lot of music supervisors who will ask to take 50%, 10%, 20%. They should be getting that money from the client, which is the filmmaker, the TV show, or the film company. They shouldn't be taking that from you. Now that's slightly different if you've got a written agreement that you've negotiated and they exclusively represent you. So a publishing company and a record label have those rights, but that's because there's been a negotiated deal with a lawyer, they've paid you some money, however much that might be, and it's an open and disclosed thing. And I would be very, very careful about if anyone approaches you and expects to take a cut of your money. It's up to you if you want to do that, but I would just be careful. That's actually not necessary, because the proper music supervisors, if they've fallen in love with your song, they'll find things on YouTube and Spotify. They'll just contact you and they're not going to ask you for money. So just be very aware of those sorts of deals that are going around at the moment.
That's so, oh my God.
So I think that's it.
Wow.
For me, that's all I've got.
That was like the full course of, man, that was so generous.
Well, you can all buy me a drink when you're in London.
I think you should all buy Lynden a drink when you're in London. And I will, because I come to London sometimes.
Great, well I look forward to that.
Yes. Bye-bye. Bye. Good luck syncing.